Yo, 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 hold on. We're live right now. Y'all know what time it is. Let me it's the check-in. Y'all know what it is, man. But let me get my mans up in here right quick. Like Jizzo is in the building. Let me let me unlock. I gotta unlock this shit. Y'all gotta excuse me for a minute. It's a whole new year, so we coming into things way different nowadays. As you can see, you know what I'm saying? There he is. There he is. We can just do it like this until somebody else come on. You know what I'm saying?
What up?
Let me just turn you down. Yo, check this out. I am your boy Heat Detector. This is the check-in. It's the last show of the year. Jizzo got my co-host right there, Jizzo, in the building.
What's up? I'm not physically there, but I'm spiritually there.
That's what's up. You want to talk to him and give him the you know what we do?
Yeah, well, I don't know if we'll need a disclaimer for today, but we'll do the disclaimer anyway. You already know, man, we're not licensed therapists, psychologists, or none of that. We just out here, man, trying to, you know, bunch of homies talking about different things, man, just giving our opinion. Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And Happy New Year to anybody and everybody out there that may
I was
listen.
saying Happy New Year to some guys that fucking walked past me in the street,
Oh, but yeah,
but
Happy New
you
Year
too,
to
Happy New Year.
yeah. But I'm gonna say my part real quick. I know it's the end of the year and we ain't really coming at motherfuckers like that right now. But as we do say always, just in case, if you dream of bunny rabbits, cotton candy, rainbows, and all that shit, get the fuck off this channel. If you are easily offended and you have your emotions on your sleeve and you feel like we're saying shit and you wanna call in on us, get the fuck off the channel, man. Make the choice to just get the fuck off the channel. You don't have to listen to anything that we say. We're not professionals. We're just people who understand our journey in life or getting a better understanding of it. We have our opinions about certain things. We talk about these things. We have a platform for people to come on and talk about mental health issues and things that they may be going through. Because it's hard out there, man. It's a cold, cold world, you know? And it's important, especially as men, that we have a platform that we can talk, discuss things, things that bother us, things that we're going through, everything like that. It's extremely important. And what we've been finding out is how important it really is. It really is important for people to be able to speak and talk and feel like they're being heard and feel like they have a place where they can get some understanding because we look for uh solutions. So we're not just up here ranting and raving about things. We're looking for solutions to problems that the things that we discuss. We don't just talk about them and just to be talking about them. We are looking and striving for solutions. You know, sometimes we've already been through it and we've got some tools that have helped us. And so part of the thing is giving those tools to other people as well. You know what I'm saying? So that they can like try to work through some shit. I know that I don't have all of the goddamn tools, but I got a decent tool belt. And thanks to the show, my tool belt has gotten deeper. You know what I'm saying? And I've been able to help myself through this show, through us doing this show and giving myself a better understanding of my thought process, how I see things, how things aren't always as I perceive them, all of that type of shit. But that's what the whole show is about. You know what I'm saying? But we're going into a new year. We're in the process of changing. It's a new year. And we're being in the process of changing. That's part of what we're gonna talk about real quick tonight because I know everybody's getting ready to fucking party, get fucked up, bring in the new year with their loved one, all of that type of shit tonight. It's going down. And also, too, everybody stay safe out there tonight. Because we already know what happens at midnight. It turns into Beirut outside. So be safe. Be 10 toes down. Keep your head on a swivel. You might be doing good, but somebody might be out there wanting you to do bad.
And remember that when you shoot up, that goes down. So don't be a fucking jagoff. Don't be a jagoff today.
Yeah, those bullets come down, and they come down with the same velocity they went up. They go through. It happens every year. They come down and they rain in people's houses, and people get killed in bed, shit like that. It really does happen. But anyways, we're not here to enforce the goddamn law. We're not here to talk about the law and everything. Just be careful out there. This is going to be a quick show because as you see, the set is in the process of change. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we're doing on Unwrap, on Shy City, it's all about changing, building, and making things happen. And you can't be afraid of change. You know what I'm saying? Life changes every day at you. You know what I'm saying? Life changes every day. You must have muted yourself, bro. I can't hear you.
Did you say?
Oh, now I can hear you. Yeah, now I can.
Yeah,
hear
I was muted for a second.
Oh, but change. Change can be difficult. Change can be bad. Change can be a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight is change and the fear of changing. You know what I'm saying? And that whole process of changing. As you, like I said, as you see, we're changing the set. We're changing everything over here at Unwrap Studios. We're changing the Shy City Cypher. Even how the Shy City Cypher moves has been changed. How it operates, thanks to Jizzo and his insight on the Shy City Cypher and how he sees it and wants it to grow. Same with over here at Unwrap. We want to grow. We want our audience not only to grow, but we want to grow with our audience. So it's about change. The next time you see us, things are going to be different. It's the end of the year. It's time to make things new. And with that being said, it's like, you know, when a person makes a New Year's resolution, you know what I'm saying? Everybody does it. Oh, this year, I'm going to go to the gym every day. This year, I'm going to do this. This year, I'm going to do that. Some people follow through, some people don't. Life is all about change. Life changes and evolves around us 24/7. Sometimes we're not aware of the change that's happening. Sometimes we are aware of the change that's happening. Relationships change. Sometimes you have to change and evolve inside of a relationship in order for it to work. You know what I'm saying? Because what you were doing before may not be working. You know what I'm saying? What you did in a relationship before may not work anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can't be resistant to the change. You could lose everything for not changing. You can lose everything for being stubborn in your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough. Sometimes change hurts. People change their motherfucking mind all the time. People change how they feel. So, but even with that, just because a person changes how they feel, that's just the feelings are for the moment. The feelings are not forever. They're for the moment. A person can change how they feel. It's a choice. What would help somebody change that choice? You have to change how you operate, how you maneuver. You don't like what's happening at your job and how you're being treated at your job. Change how you operate at your job. You don't like how people interact with you and how they communicate to you. Change how you communicate to them. Change how you communicate, period. You know what I'm saying? Change your line of thinking. 90% of the time when you change your line of thinking, it changes your behavior as well. Because now you're thinking before you speak. Now you're doing things with a thought. with
And
a
it changes
process.
the outcome. It changes your outcome. It changes your outcome too, man. Not only is
Mm-hmm.
changing yourself, but changing like the outcome of like your situations
Mm-hmm.
and things that are going on in your life. But, in the past, like and sometimes I still am short tempered. It just depends or whatever. But like in the past, it used to be worse, and I used to just was real quick to like say something to somebody with an attitude, or just it's always like, oh, why are you trying to disrespect me, type of thing. And I noticed, like, as I've been trying to grow or growing, that it affects your business and all that shit, man.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I had a situation with a company, with a customer, and their response to me wasn't what I wanted. It's like I
Right.
asked for payment. I'll disclose a few details, but I asked for payment. They weren't trying to pay. And before, my first answer would have been, some fucking attitude shit or whatever. But I thought about it. I said, man, I can't ruin this opportunity, even though it's not going exactly how I want right now. But anyway, yeah, I spoke differently. I replied with a different kind of email. And believe it or not, it literally worked out in their next email, in their next response. And I
Right.
said, I remember telling my girl, like, you know what? If I would have responded how I normally responded before, that shit would have not worked out like that. But they saw that I was, calm, collected, cool, just talk to them like an adult, and they fixed it in the next email. And so it was like, it affects a lot of this shit, man. Be willing to change. Some people not willing to change. Some people don't want to, you got these dudes walking around that are, 40, 50, and 60 years old, and they're all like, yeah, dog. Like, they never like grew up, they just refuse. Like, they're living in their ghetto-ness forever. Like, there's times you gotta evolve, you gotta fucking change. It is what it is. We've been changing that Shy City Cipher. I mean, not to plug that, but we've been changing that shit for 10 years, and
It's
I've
not a
always
plug.
tried
It's
to
not a
change.
plug. It's a fact. When we're talking about change. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
how even let's just use Shy City Cipher as an example. Part of the change was bringing in a resident producer, right?
Yep.
That ruffled some fucking feathers.
It
People
did
were
ruffle some
uncomfortable with
feathers
it.
because people weren't ready for change. We
They
never
were not
had,
ready. Yeah.
and not to say like anybody specific was ruffled their feathers, but it was a thing where everyone kind of was, I think emotionally wise, people had the deer eyes because we weren't sure like about like, this was some new shit. But for me, bro, I've just always felt like we have to keep trying to change something and something. And even from the beginning we didn't even have a logo at first. And shout out to Berto Vasquez for hooking us up with the logo and designing the first logo. And, and just kept changing after that and kept changing. And a lot of the times, like, we change like for ourselves, but also change to project something different, man. You don't want to be that same motherfucker walking around thinking the same shit, saying the same shit. Some people backtrack, man. Instead of change, they just get more settled in their ways. That's why, there's that tale of the old man, right? Like, he been like that for 70 years. He's never gonna change. He's blah 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 blah. They got stuck in their ways and just never changed. But shit, that's the reason why, you have to, if you're trying to grow. Look at the set. Look at the set for the check-in. I'm just not there right now, but look at the set. Change. Boom, and it ain't even the new year yet. So and we bring in a bunch of shit. We bring in a bunch of shit, and it's exciting for me, man. Like, I'm one of the people that likes change. Like,
Right.
I'm in Milwaukee. I'm about to be moving back to Chicago in a little bit. Like, I welcome change because that's the only way that shit has changed, has evolved for me, or opportunities have came when I've jumped out of that. Like, even change. Like, for me, I was telling somebody the story about being at Sub T for the first time, and I was scared to death, like, to get on the stage because I had, for those that don't know what it looks like, when you walk in, especially back in the day, it was packed, a stage full of hitters, MCs, and like I was scared to, like, and even in the years after that, there was always that like thought in my mind, like, should I go, should I not? And I said to myself, man, I got to change that. I got to just be willing to just step out that box, no matter what the fuck anybody says, does, whatever. You got to be willing to just jump on that stage. And I changed that shit, man, a while back, and it's easier for me now. You see me at Sub T, I'll just jump on the fucking stage. I don't care, even if I'm about to fuck up or whatever.
Right.
Like, you gotta be willing for that shit, man.
That's very true. And that's like the whole point of this whole discussion that we're having right now is because we are going into a new year, and it's very hard and it's difficult for people to change. And trust me, you know what I mean? My road of changing hasn't been all fucking, blueberry pie and ice cream and cotton candy and all that shit. My shit's been rough. It's been
But you know what? Sorry, brother. Before I forget, I want to get this thought off because it involves what you're talking about, and it's the same thing you're saying. But watching this guy that's on drugs earlier on YouTube, and he's on multiple interviews on this channel as they follow him. And in one of the interviews, the guy's trying to take him to rehab, and dude he says, "Look, man, I want to change. I want to change. I want to get off drugs." He's like, "But you know, the easiest thing to do is just keep doing drugs. It's just the easiest shit for you." So, you know, in relation to what you're saying, sometimes that's just the easiest part. Is not, but
man.
you're facing everything day by day and continuing to change. And for those that don't believe me, go watch the last episode of Unwrap. And Heat Detector showing pictures and everything about how shit came along in the last 12 months. And if you see what's there now versus what was there a year ago in December, it's a change.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's dope.
And I appreciate that, bro. But as I was saying, you know, that's very true what you said, because it's easy for me. Like, it ain't shit to pick up a fucking bottle and just start drinking and just revert back to my old shit. You know what I'm saying? Revert back to being a dickhead. I can't say that quitting drinking was everything, because in order for any of this shit to kick off and to be jump started, I had to quit drinking. And once I quit drinking, now I'm faced with the reality of shit that I've done, because I've set it in my mind that whatever I'm gonna have to deal with, I'm just gonna have to deal with it, because there's no other way around it. You know what I mean? I can keep living like shit and believing thoughts and shit in my head and keep stumbling through life like nothing fucking matters and I don't give a fuck, when I really deep down inside actually give a fuck. I think everybody really truly gives a fuck, but we don't know the way. Some people just don't know how to change, or some people are just unwilling to change. But it is possible, you know.
It's a
And
brave thing. It's a courageous thing too, because what people don't realize is that within the change, there's a part two to that. You don't just say, "Hey, it's me, the new guy."
right, right,
Hey, it's me, the new guy. No, it's okay. You ready to change? This is what comes with it. Accepting shit that you did before,
yes,
owning up to shit, accountability. Like, and we all as humans have that issue. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking paint this picture of I'm accountable for everything, and you know, I've done it as well. But yeah, man, it's the responsibility with that change. Because look at your situation. It wasn't just like, oh, change and like, hey, I'm here. Heat's
yeah.
here, the
Hey,
new
look at
guy.
me.
It's like, nah, Heat's here, the new guy, and all right, now let's deal with all the shit that you did.
Right. That's perfect. That's a perfect fucking way to explain it, because the change. Okay, so even for instance, I quit drinking. So the next day, it doesn't mean I'm a changed person. 24 hours of me not drinking does not mean I fucking changed. You know what I'm saying? A week of me not drinking does not mean I fucking changed. You know what I'm saying? The thing about that shit is, and what I've learned is that now I can't mask whatever my issues are, because now they're in the front. You know what I'm saying? Now
You can't
everything.
mask them or
Yeah,
blame it anymore.
yeah.
Blame it on the drinking. You can't
Blame
blame
it
it
on
on
the
that no more, and
alcohol.
you can't mask it.
So now, see, and like, if anybody that has ever watched the show will remember that I had a fucking meltdown, a full on meltdown, because I was telling my nephew, I think it was my nephew or my son, somebody I was talking to, I literally started drinking when I was 13 and I never stopped. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
so
a
we're
hell of a
talking,
ride.
man, we're talking years and years and years and years of me masking shit that was going on. So whenever something fucked with me or did anything to me, I immediately began. Uh, I immediately would just go straight to drinking. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the easy way to forget about the shit. Hey, shout out to Misfits. Uh, I'm gonna put the link in the what you call it, because I had to. We're doing everything new this year, and so I think it's a whole new. Um, whole new everything.
Hey,
So like,
technical note real quick. Um, the viewer, the guest, which is me today or on other days, cannot see the comments. So if anybody's commenting or saying something to me or just in
no,
the
it's
future,
you.
you know what
You
I'm
can't
saying?
see it. You should be able to see it on the screen right now when I say blessings, like it says blessings or whatever.
Yeah, no, not on the eCam, not on the through the link that I'm on now.
Oh
Nothing
yeah.
comes up. I just see the live. I can just see the live feed.
Oh okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just see the live feed.
Shout out to D Nick. D
But
Nick,
anyway,
I just put the link in the comments in YouTube. The YouTube comments. It should be on the Facebook comments. But yeah, man. So masking that shit and like whenever like I just like literally just started figuring out what the fuck a trigger was. You know what I'm saying? There he is. Shout out D Nick, man. Blessings, brother. Where man with the mask? You at the hospital, bro?
Yeah. I'm here with my baby brother. Chicken Man's laid up for a minute. He says what's up. I ain't gonna turn the camera on him
Right.
because
Right. Shout
you
out to
know
everybody. Whatever. I hope everybody that's out there or that's with you right now is gonna get better. Or, Godspeed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you guys
yeah,
are there. It's
yeah,
not.
peace, D Nick, blessings, bro. I can't see you through the thing, but peace, bro. I can hear you.
yeah, man. No, I'm good. I'm just here in the hospital, kicking it with my brother. Happy New Year, right? It's a crazy New Year, right? Yeah.
Hey, I
My,
just want to take a quick. I just want to take 2 seconds to be to shout out Misfits, man. If y'all for best hip hop group in Chicago on the Reader,
Yeah.
vote now, vote tomorrow. Keep voting. Vote for them fellas, man. They on the list, man. So make sure Microphone Misfits best hip hop group in Chicago.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Shout out to
yes.
that. But as I was saying, like I just literally like when the last few days really figured out what triggers were. Ain't that a bitch? Like I knew like okay, certain things would upset me or whatever, but just like really understanding what a trigger was and how I responded to those fucking triggers. You know what I'm saying? And that
Yeah,
shit was great. That shit was crazy to me because I thought I knew what a trigger was. Oh, that shit triggered me, and then I started doing whatever. But it's a little bit deeper than what my thoughts were about it. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show like what I was saying about changing, and and me going through this metamorphosis or whatever you want to call it, my journey, my metamorphosis, whatever. Like I was saying, and we were talking about earlier, just because I quit drinking and it's been damn near a year already, doesn't mean that I'm a brand new fucking person. It just means one aspect of things has changed. So the alcohol is no longer being used as a mask for shit. But that doesn't mean because that means that now all this other shit I have to deal with and I can't mask these things anymore. And I have to change a lot in order to be better and feel better. There's a lot for me, that is, you know what I'm saying? And realizing a lot of those different things and getting sorting them out and getting through them. But that goes to with the whole shit about change. I'm open to the change. I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready. And like we've talked before, like D Nick had said, it's the it's like easy math, but it's the execution that means everything. You know, that's the hardest part. And it is the execution because it's fucking easy as fuck. It's easy as fuck for me to just say, you know what, fuck all this. And just go grab something to drink and just sit here and wallow in my own shit. That's easy. That's the easy part. That's the real easy part. But then what?
especially on a day like this, man. I bet that the changes are, that shit probably passed through your mind a couple times tonight because tonight's the night that everybody drinks and has a fucking celebration. So it's a consistent thing. It's not a forever
Well,
battle. It's just a forever journey, right? Like you're
yeah.
forever gonna be on that journey, bro. You'll always, when you see a motherfucker on the holidays drinking, you'll be thinking like,
I don't
damn,
honestly I don't. The only thing that I've been thinking about today that deals with alcohol is I have a bottle of champagne sitting there and it's been waiting. And that bottle was supposed to be open on a day like today for the 25 years, me and my wife.
Yeah.
And I don't know that bottle's ever going to be open. You know what I'm saying?
Well, keep that as a new goal to keep it closed forever and keep celebrating the closed bottle. Maybe. I mean,
no,
I don't know.
It's not the bottle. It's not the liquor and shit that's in the bottle. It's what it represents.
That's what I'm saying. Keep that as a representation every year of keep that fucking bottle, and next year, December fucking 31st, 2024, look at that bottle and remember as a representation of you don't drink no more and you can still
that's
celebrate.
not what it is. That's not the representation, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be a celebration right now.
Just like your mom.
You feel me? That's opening that bottle is the celebration of 25 years. That was.
But you're not gonna drink because you don't drink no more. So that's what I'm saying. Don't open it.
Again, you're missing the point. I don't have to drink it, but just popping it to celebrate the 25 years.
Oh, okay, yeah, that too. Hell yeah, pop that motherfucker and don't drink it.
There's a motherfucker that don't want to celebrate that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's another show, man. That's another show.
But yeah,
that's another show. We don't need to get into all that. That's another show.
But I'm just saying though, huh?
Is it? Are you talking about the ritualistics of popping bottles, or
no? We're talking about change, but you know, and it just you know how sometimes we kind of veer off a little bit, and I was talking about changing and drinking and masking and how easy it is to drink, you know, because like literally there's a bottle of champagne sitting right there, but that bottle of champagne is supposed to represent some shit. And I don't know that bottle, you know, even if it got popped tonight and we actually celebrated the shit, I'm not going to drink it. It's the act of the celebration that troubles
So
me.
It's the ritual of popping the bottle.
No. That bottle was supposed to be popped for the 25-year anniversary.
He's talking about him personally and the person he's supposed to pop it with. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
And the likelihood of it not ever being popped, it sucks, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? But it's
changes, bro. Then you make changes. Then it just has to do with changes. Back to the subject. It just got to do with changes, bro. That's a change. If that's not gonna happen, then you know that you need to change your life. It's just part of our topic.
It's just a ritual, man. It's you give it meaning. It doesn't matter. It's just a meaning, like. You know, it's just a thing that we do, you know, for whatever reason we do it.
I understand that part about it being a ritual and all that type of shit and a thing, we put a label on it or whatever. But the thought is about change and being resistant to change and being open to change. You know what I'm saying? Because part of that even is me changing. That's why I was saying about just because I quit drinking doesn't mean everything is fucking changed, because there's other shit that I still have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that I have to fix and work on a daily basis. For me, that is.
Yeah, no, I mean, for anybody, that's a change. One thing, one change, like spearheads a whole lot of changes.
Right.
A whole lot of changes. You know, and
that is if the person's willing to deal with those changes. That's the thing, because people are so reluctant to change and reluctant or scared of change. You know what I'm saying? You know,
because it changes everything. That's why people are scared of it, because there's some things that people don't want to change. Like, it's a hard thing to put a pin in, but it's not really nice. Some people don't want to lose the positivity of the negative. Like there's positive, negative.
Right. 100% right.
You know, like there's, like that that changes everything, like even when you look at like when people use the term culture vultures, which they use it wrong. When people use the term culture vultures, and we know about this being like hip hop dudes, we don't per se like when culture vultures do what culture vultures do, but we do love the effect of culture vultures doing what they do because it helps the marketplace. That's
Yeah.
just an example. It helps the marketplace. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so it's, and I just use that as a metaphor of like the things of changing, man. It means sometimes it means you can't kick it with the same people. Sometimes it means we
Facts.
can't partake in the same rituals. Some things is like, yo, we got to eat the cost. I mean, we bought this bottle for 25 years of anniversary or some stuff, but then we got to let that go because, like, forget that bottle. You're not drinking. So, what is going to be our new ritual? But we made the, and then, like you say, you chose to stop drinking. So, it's like, that means you and whoever the 25 anniversary thing is for is we can't, that person can't celebrate it. It affects them too.
Well, it's
You
not the
know
celebration itself. It's the it's more of
well,
like
it's
the
the
rich.
rituals of the
It's the ritual,
celebration, so it is
but
the celebration itself.
no
It's
no no
not
no
that you're
no
not celebrating, is that these things may not be able to be done in the celebration
no
umbrella.
no no. It's not that. When I say that it
Okay.
may not be done,
Hey, brothers,
it's
I hate to jump in real quick. But I'm gonna have to bow out. My phone's on 3%, and before it cuts off, I just want to give my farewell, man, for 2023, for the check-in, for D
yeah.
Nick, man, for OT, for everybody that's been on the show all year and has helped us really grow, man, and continue to grow on the show. To all of our viewers, man, and our supporters, and everybody, E. Johnson, and everybody, much love, man. And I'm gonna bow out, man, because I got to get to the family that's downstairs, and I got
Yeah.
to get part of the celebration down there. So, but much love to you, brothers, man. Heat, I
Me
love
too,
you,
man.
man. You
Love
already know
I
what
love
it
you
is,
too,
bro.
brother. You already know.
All right, man. I'm bowing out, man. Peace, D Nick.
Peace,
I'll
peace.
holler,
Happy
bro.
bless,
New
bro.
Year.
Happy New Year, Gizzo.
So what I was meaning by the representation of it is that like we ain't celebrating shit because there's still this divide.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's kind of part of the change. And I was speaking to this person and saying that the thought that they have me in a cage in their head, and it's easy to hold on to that and not have to deal with this new version of me and use that shit as an excuse to continue with nonsense when I'm not even on that page. Like I say something and automatic a motherfucker just flip out and go somewhere else completely different with it, and I have to reel that shit back in. Like that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I said. That's not even what I'm talking about. That's not my intentions. Because that holding me hostage back in here like that in this little cage allows them to continually behave a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And it gives the excuse to behave, as you were saying a minute ago. About damn, what did you say? I may have had too much coffee, but it's the excuse to you know what I mean? Like somebody
Yeah.
saying culture vulture. It's the excuse to say culture vulture and keep saying it in a derogatory way, even though motherfuckers know that any type of culture has to evolve and has to it's gonna grow into things and morph into different shit all the time. I mean, look at the check-in. It wasn't always the check-in. It's morphed into the check-in. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But but because of that, letting go of that and keeping me hostage up here in that light allows for all this other behavior. And I get it. I understand it. I get it. Because also the fear of not knowing, the fear that I might fuck around and wake up tomorrow and just be a dick again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not in charge of tomorrow. I can't do shit about the past. And I had came up with this thing I call it: you can't hold um, the past hostage and try and kidnap the future. You can't. You know what I'm saying? That
Uh, you can't. However, to understand the unknown, you first have to study the known.
facts. But if
So
the but
that's
if the known in front of you is devoid of the other shit, You have to at least be willing. You don't have to.
Right.
But if a person is telling me to my face, I see the growth and I see the this and I see the that, but yet you're still
Mm-hmm.
holding me hostage to some other shit that ain't happening, not in one bit, not one iota. Why are you holding that? Why are you doing that? Makes no sense.
People build up equity on their own time, emotional equity on their own time.
Right.
And that's the tough part. Like all right, the thing that we do in group counseling, we do one of the things, like we when we're on the subject of positive anger expression, one of the activities, or moving into the activity, we have to read, and we have a really in-depth conversation about the little boy that cried wolf. Is one of
Right.
the things that we read. And and training is just like, oh my God, we got to read this old dated story. This is stupid. The kids are not gonna like gravitate to this, especially it's like the boy cry wolf. And then, and it is what it is, and they've heard it before, but they've never heard it unpacked in the way that we unpack it.
Right.
And so, and then that's like the precursor to some role playing stuff that we got to do, and then the questions come where it's like, do you think the little boy, and you have your leeway to change some words around or
Right.
flip it and all of that stuff. But then, the point being, when we start asking, like, do you think they were wrong? Do you think the village was wrong in, ignoring the boy that cried wolf, and then the wolf just ripped his arms up and and tore his neck out and all this thing. And and then those discussions, like, no, he been selling, he been fronting
Selling
for
wolf tickets.
yes, was where it comes from. He been
Right.
fronting selling wolf tickets for the longest. And some is like, nah, it's compassionate. And like, they have more compassion. And it's a discussion, and it comes into the understanding of equity. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not right that the townspeople turn their back on the kid and let him get his arms and limbs ripped off in the middle of the town square,
Right.
and he's just left his bloody carcass. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at this, not but, period, new sentence. Same time, we gotta figure out, like, are are they wrong, or where was his accountability for crying wolf? For like, you're skipping school, you're being mischievous, and you're just picking on, like, townspeople in the wolf hole situation. You got wild wolves running through the town at random times, and then they ignore you. That's what happens. That's the equity pulled in.
Crazy that you're talking about
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But
Excuse me.
yeah. I'm gonna just tap in on what he's talking about crying wolf and the equity that people get from, let's say, just that story in general. So the equity, like, even in a relationship, if you want someone to change and you're saying, "Oh, I've made all these changes," well, they've built up equity in you not changing before, right? And so while discussing this with someone, I said, I understand it. I understand it 100%, because how can I be trusted in what I say, and how can I be trusted in even my actions right now as we speak? How can I be trusted in any of those things? Because just because I want you to see the change and I want those changes to be known, doesn't necessarily mean that you may see them, you may not believe them. There's a lot of trust in that, and to change that line of thinking is a motherfucker, And I was telling him, that I had this thought of before when I would go and do shit, I wouldn't think about consequences or anything until after the fact. I wouldn't feel guilt about anything until after the fact. And then on top of that, I would smother that shit with alcohol. So my excuses, my shit, my whatever in the fuck. But what I've learned now is like well, for instance, now I don't have any desire to do any of those things anymore. I have no desire to be devious or hurtful to anybody anymore. I don't even I'm like, I'm not perfect, but I'm working really hard on just not hating anybody. I don't hate nobody, especially if I don't fucking know you. I don't hate you. I don't hate what you do. I don't hate on nobody. I'm not hating any person for their actions or unless they're trying to be physically harmful. But other than that, I'm not going to hate them. I'm just going to deal with it. But to me the changes are a lot deeper than what we really understand and know. And so anyways, as I was having this conversation, the person says, well, why didn't you do that before? So your brain and everything is telling you not to do it now, and you're finding it physically hard, and you physically don't want to do those things. Why couldn't you just do that before? And that to me was the wildest fucking question. And it was a question that I didn't have an answer for. And I was struggling to answer that question. And as I was struggling to answer that question, I immediately thought how unfair that question was. But it wasn't unfair. It was an honest fucking question. It was and it was about as fair as you could fucking ask a question. But my brain thought it was fucking unfair because I didn't have an answer. I didn't even understand the question, kind of, even though I had said, yeah, I physically don't want to do shit. My brain is telling me what's right and what's wrong. And I'm dealing with those things as opposed to hiding. And I was just like, I don't know. I'm making changes every day. I'm figuring out right now every day, like even understanding what love really means, telling somebody I love you, like, and understanding what love actually is, and respect and honesty and all that shit. And that's the only answer that I had, because like now that I'm holding myself accountable and I say that I truly love somebody or whatever, like I'm standing on that. And I'm like, well, fuck, if you love this person, then you're not going to treat this person this way. And your thoughts become behaviors. You know what I'm saying? So it's again, back to the change. You know what I'm saying? When you change the way that you think, your behaviors will change as well. You change the way that you dress, just in general, just shit. When you're making all these changes, other things change around you. Your behaviors change. Everything changes. And that was something that I had to like understand. And I didn't. And I didn't understand it even as it was happening. I didn't understand it. But as the time went on and as the hours passed, I began to understand it more, and understanding that the question wasn't unfair. It was about as fair as a motherfucking question as a motherfucker could ask. I felt it was unfair because I didn't have an answer. I felt it was unfair because it hit me in the fucking stomach. Because then it's like, oh fuck, then now we're back to the accountability shit. It's change is a motherfucker, man. Change is a motherfucker, but you have to be willing to take the challenge. You have to be willing to make the change, as scary as it may be, as hurtful as it may be, because sometimes the change, yourself changing, will get hurt, because people won't be receptive to your change. They don't want to see that change, or they don't believe the change. How about that? That's better. They don't believe the change. And again, because you made that change doesn't mean that everything else changes. It's still an uphill fight. It's still an uphill battle. And you have to be accountable. If you really want change, like tonight, it's going to be a new year. Everybody's going to be making motherfucking New Year's resolutions. Some people are going to say, oh, I'm quitting bread or gluten, or I'm going vegan or vegetarian, or I'm stopping eating ice cream, or I'm going to start walking to work, or whatever in the fuck your change is. Be willing to do it. Don't just say it. Trust and believe. And even dealing with this show and doing the show, not dealing with the show, but doing the show, the check-in, has changed every fucking thing. For me, it helps me to realize and understand my movements, how I operate, how I see things, how I behave with other people, especially with people that I care about and people that I love. It's important. It's extremely important to me. I don't think I ever gave a fuck before. Oh, shit, do I give a fuck now? In dealing with all of these changes, I'm also understanding that I really give a fuck. And I really give a fuck about people. I really give a fuck about how I manage my relationships with people, how I behave with people. So even though this change that I'm going through, this change that is happening daily, it's happening as we speak, I'm not afraid of it. Let me take that back. I am afraid of it. But I'm not so afraid of it that I'm going to stop dealing with it, or I'm going to stop or revert back to anything. Because with a lot of the changes that I've made right now, I feel better. I'm not in charge of other people's feelings and shit, but I feel better. And even if they don't feel better about me or the changes that I've made or making, I feel better. Not to discard their feelings or anything, but I feel better. And I can maneuver a whole lot better around that person or around people or just things. I can maneuver a whole lot better. And like I said, I feel good about it. And that's the most important thing. So with that being said, everybody, don't be scared of change. Be ready for the change. Be ready for the fight. Be ready for the struggle of the change. There's nothing bad that can come out of it, you know? There's a lot of good in change. Even if other people don't see it, you'll feel better within yourself, especially if you're changing for the better. Trust and believe. With that being said, D-Nick, I see you busy. You have a blessed and good new year to you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Blessings, bro. Blessings.
I'm going to cut this short. I got to run upstairs and get in this time. But I was just talking about the change and you know how just because people aren't receptive to the change and everything, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I feel good about me, you know, and it helps me maneuver better within those relationships. You know what I'm saying? And I feel better about me, and I feel better about how I deal with people. You know what I'm saying? And even though these changes are difficult as fuck, because that shit leads me down a road that I didn't want to have to deal with. I didn't want to confront, and I sure in the hell didn't want to be accountable for it. But it is what it is. I feel good about it, which helps me every day to make even more changes. And the more changes I make, the better I feel. And with that being said, everybody go out to this new year. You make a New Year's resolution, stand on that shit, man. If it's to stop eating bread because you feel like you're getting fat or whatever the fuck it is, or you're taking better care of yourself, or you're going to fucking walk to work instead of drive, or you're going to become a fucking vegetarian, then do it. Stand on it. You'll feel better because you're accomplishing something. And you're going to hold, and with that change, you're going to hold yourself accountable to it. And then you'll probably start making better choices and better decisions. Who knows? I don't know. I know that I am. Just because it's a new year for me, I don't feel the need to make a resolution to anything. My resolution and my resolve and my constitution is what it is right now. And I'm standing on that. But that's just me. Everybody else is different. And everybody else's change is in their time, in their pace. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, my brother, love. I appreciate you, man. Nothing but love. Respect. Godspeed to the homie. I know you there in the hospital. Godspeed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the fuck out of you, brother. Like I've said a million times, don't take those words lightly, man. When I'm telling you I appreciate you and I love you, bro. That is a absolute fact. You've helped enormously in the whole process within the show. You've helped enormously in helping even Jizzo and I, and probably I don't even know the amount of people that have watched the show and have listened to things. I am certain that you have helped change some thought processes and some things, in, just by being you and spreading the knowledge that you have and your understanding. And it is a lot of times it is from your perspective, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I respect the fuck out of it. You feel me? And and I love you for it, brother. For real. You always got a friend in me. And I hope you have a blessed fucking New Year to you.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here in the hospital, man. Just checking on my brother. So
yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Blessings, peace to everybody.
Yeah. And again, this has been another one. We out. Everybody be safe. We coming into this new year guns blazing. We got a whole new operation jumping off in this bitch. And we coming clean. We coming different. We changing, baby. Once again, we are changing for the good. This has been a check-in, man. It's your boy, Heat Detective. Blessings to everybody. Have a great, happy new year. Stand on your changes, man, for real. I'm out.